Experts called it a 1,000-year flood. That's a once-in-a-1,000-year event, right? Wrong. Ellicott City, Maryland, May 2018. All this damage, all these lost buildings had just recovered from another 1,000-year flood only 22 months earlier.
They're still, even today, removing debris from these buildings.
This is how Ellicott City is fighting the floods. Years before the Revolutionary War, Ellicott City was already founded.
The width of this street hasn't changed very much at all.
Its mills humming with activity, powered by the waters that would flow downstream towards the center of town. Old Ellicott City's topography worked perfectly to push water towards its center, but conditions have changed in the last 250 years.
We have more intense and more frequent storms, and we can't have a plan that focuses on what can be done fast, but what can be done best.
Two major American cities, DC and Baltimore, have emerged around this historic town, yet the narrow horse and buggy streets and stone buildings still exist here in modern times.
So we're walking on top of water right now.
That's correct.
On this crosswalk.
Water is running under here as we speak.
Deputy Director of Public Works Mark Ellicott took us through the latest plan to make the city safer when the next flood comes. It would require a reimagining of the city built more than a century ago.
This is the exact spot where a flash flood can go from bad to worse, where the Tiber and New Cut streams combine. Not only are you adding more water here, but you're pushing it through a tighter spot, almost as if someone took two fire hoses and tried to push that energy through a garden hose.
This is what's left of Kaplan's department store. Decades ago, someone put it on a bridge over the water.
This is the original building that might date back to the 18 or 1700s. And then this is a new addition that was put across the river.
Was that a good idea to do?
I think at the time, people thought so. I don't know.
4 buildings will still likely have to come down just for safety purposes.
Howard County Executive Dr. Calvin Ball is looking to spend somewhere between $113 and $140 million to redirect the water flow. We're not talking about your typical road work here.
So this is the area where we were talking about a tunnel.
2 tunnels bored through what may be solid rock will move the water underneath Ellicott City and not through its streets.
I know that there are some who think that it can't be done, but I think that we are only held captive by the limitations of our imagination and our innovation of the technology.
They've already put up new signs and sirens, but we found one business owner who's not waiting for the government to step in.
So let me show you how I fixed it. Oh.
Randy Mariner jacked up his restaurant, raising it 18 inches off the ground.
We poured a concrete sidewalk to act as a storm gutter. We're here on the outside terrace. When it rains here, we put grates in here so when the rain falls, it has a place to go as well. And it goes through that wall, and there's a big pipe.
By the time the 2018 flood hit, the $500,000 system worked, and his business was saved.
Unfortunately, in the flood last year, there was one fatality, and that was our employee.
Eddie Armand, a restaurant manager, was also in the National Guard.
When the waters came, he saw somebody in danger and was trying to help her and got caught up in a flood waters. Didn't make it. So I can fix buildings. I can't fix that. It's not inexpensive. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be paid for. But it would be a tragedy to do nothing.